this is really making me crazy. The Federal Reserve gets questioned now for politics these days. The Supreme Court and John Roberts get. We have corroded what we're doing. We are corroding trust in our government in a way, and one-time responsible people are doing to control it. And the idea that Donald Trump and Jack Welch, rich people with crazy conspiracies, can get traction on this is a bad trend.
That's Chuck Todd, and reacting over the weekend here to the theme from some that the positive unemployment numbers that were now under 8% were somehow fudged here by the Obama camp, and that it's a giant conspiracy. Now, just 5 minutes after the Labor Department unveiled the numbers, former GE chief Jack Welch, he took to Twitter writing, "Unbelievable job numbers. These Chicago guys will do anything. Can't debate, so change numbers." That meme, mimicked by many on the right on Friday over the weekend, including some members of Congress saying, "I'm with Jack Welch." Now, when it just comes down to the he said, how do you separate listen, we do this for a living here, okay? But how do you, with busy schedules, you're only getting tidbits here and there, how can you separate fact from fiction? And what incentive is there anymore, Joe, to be truthful? And I mean that sincerely. I'm not putting guys on, these guys know this, but you're one of the good guys, okay? But I can make an argument with you, and I know your handlers would never do this, but hey, make stuff up. By the time that they go around to disprove it here, the election will be over here. And you could throw a bomb, question whether your candidate's a character, forget about policies, make things up out of thin cloth. And you're almost incentivized to do this nowadays. I have never seen such a cavalier attitude. I'm not talking about the last week, but I'm talking overall, with just bastardizing the truth as if it's some movable, fungible object. We should at least debate not the facts, but the alternatives to it. We can't even agree on the facts anymore. This is the national, the President's Council and Economic Advisors, they're not Democrats or Republicans. This is as nonpartisan as they get. The last time somebody questioned the numbers was when you had Richard Nixon, and it was because he didn't like the numbers were coming out, so he sicked Chuck Colson on him. We're going back to 71 till we hear this kind of lunacy. I mean, I really think it's not only bad for the country, but I also think it's bad for the electorate.
Well, it is. I got to tell you, I'm from Wall Street. If you don't cross your I and dot your T, cross your T and dot your I, ultimately, you can get thrown in jail. Now, Congress, to my shock, does not bring in an external auditor. The U.S. federal government has no external auditor. I didn't know that. But you didn't
go screaming. They fudged the numbers. They cooked the books. That's making people not even believe in the federal government.
I would have taken the first half of the statement that Welch made and not the second half. In other words, the numbers are difficult to understand, and that's the nature of the way they collect the numbers. There's two different types of survey. Not that the Chicago guys cooked it. That you got to discard that part of the statement. I agree with you. The Bureau of Labor Statistics is wholly credible. Anybody says they're not, you're absolutely right. That's a false statement. That being said, the numbers themselves, do you know that the U6, the real unemployment rate is 14, I just want to finish this way, 14.7%, that didn't change. So the real unemployment rate is 14.7%, that didn't change. The way you use these numbers, it's important that people understand. I think you need a standardized format.
We're parsing just this one. I mean, does climate change actually exist? Because I can pull out studies that say it does and studies that say it does. All of that coming to fruition in the presidential race. It's a dangerous
on ideas anymore. If you don't like something, you'll root against the country to try and get your guy to win. And I'm not even putting on one side.
Richard? Are you surprised? It's all in the name of winning.
We got a big special coming up here, but Joe, thank you so much. Dominic and Andrew as well. When we come back, we're going to switch gears here and forget politics. This is now fact, folks. 2 cities, history of violent crime, and one of them police outnumbered by huge numbers, and in the other, all the cops being fired. Tonight, we're going to take a look at how your streets could be growing more dangerous. Stay with us. Cops, cuts, consolidation coming up next. We'll be right back.